Good morning, creators. This is a new day. It's an exciting new start to feel how we want to feel. It's an exciting day to do only what we love. And I'm excited about it. I literally just woke up. My cute, adorable little gray and white cat was sleeping on me, and he wanted some more cuddles when I woke up, so I stayed there. And yesterday we talked about being flexible. Usually I like to get up, 20 minutes at least before this happens, but nope, I couldn't leave him. He was so cute, and he was, on his back, and he had his little belly out. So I really love the idea of just going with the flow, of like watching our life unfold. I don't know if you guys have seen the show The Good Place, but Ted Danson is in it, and I heard an interview with him. I don't even know where it was. It could have been on Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard, but I don't even know. He was talking about how he basically fell into all the stuff that he ended up doing in life, like his job, his wife, all kinds of things. Like he literally sees it as he just kept taking steps, and like something was there to meet him or pick him up or, bring him some new place. And he has enjoyed it. Like he's gotten to be successful and expressed and find love. And he honestly, I had no idea that his personality was so like gentle and loving. I didn't know anything about him really, other than the fact that he was on Cheers, which I really didn't watch. Um, and I totally get that. He just took the path of least resistance. And it brought him to amazing places because he didn't have a lot of resistance in him. And I I find that the best way I can help myself go forward like that is releasing any kind of judgment I have about everything, like about other people, about what they're doing, about what the government's doing, about what I eat, about my schedule, about my partner, about and everything, every little thing. Um, I don't think that we're naturally judgmental people when we are, brought to this world. But over the years, we definitely soak some stuff up. A lot of times, it's like we grow up with the same philosophy that our parents had because that's what we were, around, and they seemed pretty confident about it, so we took it on. But for the most part, the kind of judgments that I've noticed myself releasing and just being more free about are around other people and around what I'm eating. I grew up having celiac disease, which is like an autoimmune disorder where your body basically um, attacks itself when you eat anything with gluten in it. And I'm Italian and Irish, so I ate a lot of gluten, lots of pasta, lots of bread. I mean, I don't know if I even went a day ever without eating those things. Just like most Americans, like when are you not eating um, bread and pasta and anything with gluten and soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, all that kind of stuff. Um, and then I became a raw foodie in my early 20s because that I was really determined to feel better. I was really determined to figure out what was going on because I didn't even know what was wrong with me, but I realized that it did have something to do with food because I started noticing patterns. And so I basically stopped eating everything except for raw fruits, nuts, vegetables, and seeds. And that's a huge departure from what most people are eating. And I loved it. I did it for a long time, a couple of years. Not always raw in those years, but being very strict with the food that I ate. And even though I felt better, I mean, I absolutely felt better, I didn't even know how bad I was feeling my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know if you've never felt it? So the contrast was, I mean, it was amazing. But I definitely found that I was being like obsessive. And if I think about it now, there's a word, is it orthorexia? Where you're like obsessed with the food you're eating and you're like restrictive. It's kind of like that. I didn't see it like that at the time, but I knew it was really difficult for me at certain periods to maintain that. Like the thought of eating, like cabbage with like lemon juice on it one more time, like I was about to lose my mind. Because we didn't have all these like beautiful, YouTube channels and recipes and all that kind of stuff back then. This was, almost 20 years ago. So, anyway, after that point, and after I started eating some regular food again, obviously not gluten, and I didn't eat meat or dairy, and I still really don't. Once in a while, I'll eat some dairy. But I realized over the course of the next few years that I could eat stuff and I still felt great. I could eat whatever I want and I felt great. The big alignment piece was, how do I feel while I'm eating it, right? Like it went from the physical thing to, where's my alignment at? If my alignment is there, if it's strong, if I'm feeling good, and I'm inspired to eat something, then I'm going to feel good eating it and I'm going to feel good the next day. So I really learned that it's my vibrational self that I need to monitor, not really everything else. If I'm inspired to something, it's going to be good. So if I'm going about my day and I'm feeling good and I'm inspired to do something I wouldn't normally do, I'm going to do it because I know it's inspired. And so I like to think of the rest of the world like that, like, sure, maybe not everyone is feeling great and in alignment when they do stuff, but it's none of my business. It's really none of my business. They all have their own divine higher self and connection, and whether they're listening to it or not, they're still connected. They're still perfect. They're still source. And everyone's here to figure out their own way. Like if I just think I want to be as kind to myself as possible. I want to be as gentle and loving and nurturing, and I don't use the word forgiving, but like in this case, forgiving to myself as possible. I don't shame myself for not eating raw my whole life. Like I don't. I found these new little donuts in the freezer. They're like little gluten-free donut holes. I would never have eaten that like even a couple of years ago because it had sugar in it. And you know what? They're so good and I love them. And I eat like however many I want, which is normally just two. But I love that about me. I love that I'm flexible. I love that I'm gentle. I love that I'm, listening to my desires and letting them happen. Because that's why we're here. We're here to let our desires happen and releasing judgment on all of these things. It gave me so much more space to be myself and so much more confidence because I'm only looking at me, which means I'm not worried about what others are thinking of me. It's a two-way street. If you keep judging other people, not you, but in general, um, you're worried about how they're judging you, right? It's like whereas if you are standing on your own, just sending out that love, you are going to be in a place where you're not attached to what these other people are thinking of you. And I can say pretty much for sure that at least in my life, the releasing of what other people think of me has been the biggest factor in me accessing and knowing how I want to be in this world, what my big contribution can be, how I can express myself more fully. Because how can you express yourself fully if you're worried about what people think and you let that make your decisions for you? We can't know, we can't step into our potential if that's the case. And it's just been so fun to see that unravel and so fun to like have that happen and receive ideas and be more inspired. So, yeah, that's a lot. I love it when I'm super tired. I normally just I'm on a roll here. So, yeah. What are you wanting to do or feel or be today? I would love to know. You can share it with me in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. I see the comments almost right away. And I hope you have an amazingly inspired day. If you meditate, that helps. If you do this deliberately, it helps. If you talk yourself into where you want to be, it helps. And I'm so excited to be doing this with you and calibrating into an amazing, great place. So, lots of love, everybody. If you're here, you can press subscribe and ring the bell, and it'll notify you when we have a new video. And welcome to the family, the Hello Love family. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.